Hey, what is up guys, this is Carbo and welcome to the account of Mr. Passarelli. This is only a 3-month-old account, but don't let that fool you because the progress on this account is frankly insane. We got the He-Man here picked up, I guess. We've also got ourselves the Volcanos. Are you kidding me? We've all got all kinds of very solid epic champions as well, man. The Vegas, the Fiend, the Geomancer, fully booked up pretty much on this account as well. It's off to an incredible start. Now, why would I be taking over such an account as this? It looks like Mr. Passarelli is doing great. He's even got the Royal Guard sitting around as well, the Anchorite, which for some odd reason has been booked out. We might have to go ahead and investigate this. But the reason I'm taking over this account is because Passarelli is, well, maybe a few weeks ago actually, is exiting the early game in Raid. And so the question is, what now? Once you've got like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 level 60 champions, you're pushing towards like, I don't know, stage 18, 19, 20, most of the beginner dungeons. What the hell do you do next? What do you start to focus on next? That's what we're going to be answering in this takeover, man. And hey, as always, the easiest way that you can get involved in this account takeover series is by creating an account yourself using my beginner promo link, which Mr. Passarelli did right here to get his hands on Fane and Vegas and a few other champs. And you can find my beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description box. Simply click on that link and use it to create a new raid account for an incredible start to your new raid adventure and get a priority pass for getting involved in this account takeover series. So let's have it, man. What does it really mean to be entering the mid game of your account's life cycle in Raid Shadow Legends, man? What should your key objectives be? Well, for me, this is like the most exciting time to be developing your Raid account. You're out of that early game slog where you're just trying to get your first team or two put together and just get the basics done in like stage 16 dungeons or and stuff like that. And now you get the privilege and the honor of just maxing out every champ on your account that looks like they could be good and just building a nice wide account. With some exceptions, there's still some game modes and stuff like Hydra that you want to kind of be building towards, and we're going to be talking about that as well. But for me personally, my number one goal on this account, where this my account, first of all, I'd be taking the Apothecary up to level 60, by the way. The Apothecary is actually not fully booked, which is kind of crazy. It's the closest to level 60 increased speed champion that we have on the account. We do have a few of them lying around, but the Apothecary is the closest to the mark. He's also running at 191 speed with what looks like a lot of hand-me-down gear. I wonder if we can go ahead and fix up his speed real quick, because honestly, I feel like this Apothecary could be a huge instrument for progression on this account, especially into Fire Knight. This account is actually stuck at stage 13 in Fire Knight, so Fire Knight is way behind all of the other dungeons. All right, and that's more like it. Here's a happy little Apothecary build that I just went ahead and put together in the champion presets. I think it's fine if I just go ahead and get this equipped on up. We're gaining about what, like 35 speed or something like that. Very nice. The defensive stats also staying the same as well. A lot of this gear can be rolled up even further too, especially these 6-star boots. Might as well take them up to level 60 at this point. On a 3-month-old account, 6-star speed boots, who even gives a damn about the substats? The resulting final speed of this Apothecary will be insane. He's going to be a great speed booster for things like Arena, Tag Arena, Fire Knight Dungeon. He's going to be awesome. But yeah, just taking a little bit of a look around. I love the level 60s that we have so far. Great Demon Lord, Clan Boss Killer specialists on this account. Lovely stuff. We've got a whole bunch of champs here that are definitely going to be worth us taking up to level 60 as well in the long run. I'm looking at Royal Guard. This guy's going to be a great damage dealer for us into a Hydra team in the future. Again, could also help with Fire Knight progression. Could be a little bit underrated for Fire Knight progression. Good old Royal Guard. I will say as well that there are a few champions that are not in the Master Vault. Ooh, we've got Fenshi in here as well. Good old 5-star Fenshi for Fire Knight progression. That could be great. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the collection real quick. We've got some great champions that are actually sitting in the Reserve Vault, which you don't often see. A little bit worrisome. Of course, if your champions are in the Reserve Vault, it means that they can't have any artifacts equipped, and so none of these champions are being actively used on the account. We've got a Kanoichi sitting in here. We've got a Giscard, the Sigiled. Even Airsign is not a bad champion for the likes of Faction Wars. Poor Romero, man. There he is. Romero came in from my promo link as well. He's kind of like the sibling with the runny nose. You know, that he's just there, right? Because your mom doesn't want you to go do fun things without taking along your little brother or your little sister. And, oh, for God's sake, man, here comes Romero. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay, understandably, he's ended up in the vault, but not that understandably. He's fine for faction wars as well, and we're still very, very early days on this account. And honestly, we've got some fine champions that are sitting in the vault that I'm a little bit nervous of. A lot of faction guardians in here as well. Even the Nalhorn, for the likes of faction wars and stuff like that, can come in very, very clutch. The Kerzad also, this is another great rare champion, multiple AoE skills, very, very reliable, strong decrease speed debuff on his A1. Like, these are some great champions in the reserve vault, and they have me a little bit nervous as to why they are here. I leave them in here for now. I'm not sure what his plans are for these champions. I didn't even notice, man, but the Tyrell, and I forget this champion's name, man. What the hell is her name again? The big lady. Screw it, I gotta pull her out, man. Good old Armina, right? She's a great wave controller champion. Fantastic for the likes of faction wars and stuff like that. Which would be my recommendation on this account, man. Just build everything. I'd work on building the Hydra team champions out first on this account, and let's go ahead and get to that next. But I would strongly recommend just building wide as hell on this account. Now, as for a Hydra team, let's go ahead and cover that first. And so this is the team we're running so far into Hydra. One key's already been spent, and so we've been using the Geomancer. Great. We've been using the Loki. Not bad. Couple of champs. I actually forget this champion's name, but I know he's not a very good Hydra champion. We've got the He-Man in there because, well, we've got He-Man on the account. Might as well be using him, right? Well, maybe not really. He-Man isn't exactly the best Hydra champ, Hydra damage dealer. I mean, there are a lot of boxes that you gotta check with Hydra, right? You want decreased speed champions, increased speed champions, healers, revivers, cleansers, hex champions, block debuffs, all of that stuff. He-Man, he just brings damage, you know, and so he kind of, I mean, he doesn't do nothing, but for me, he doesn't do enough to earn his place onto Hydra teams. We've got the Wukong in there and the Vorgoth, not too bad. And this right here is the team that I would recommend we build out for Hydra. And I'm gonna go ahead and call out Passarelli here for one of the decisions that he's made on his account in just a second. But I would go ahead and, well, first of all, let's go left to right, man. The Apothecary, increase speed, just get him on the team. Obviously, any kind of like epic or legendary champ that's bringing more to the table, increased speed plus something else, is going to replace the Apothecary very, very quickly. But frankly, just having any increased speed champion on side is a huge deal in my book, and so I put the Apothecary in there. Vorgoth is only on the team because he's our only reliable Provoker champion on the account. Again, ideally, we're replacing the Vorgoth with a more reliable Provoker. And when I say reliable Provoker, by the way, just looking at Vorgoth's Provoke, even fully booked up, it's actually only, well, it's a 3-turn cooldown Provoke, which is great. That's what you're looking for. Nice and fast with a 3-turn cooldown Provoke is quite solid. Problem is, even fully booked, it's only a 75% land rate, and so it's 3-turn cooldown, and it's not 100% reliable. Okay, we push now, we'll look a little bit there, man. We can do better than Vorgoth over time, right? Of course, the Ugo's on the team for the block buff debuff. Ugo's already sitting at 6 stars and is currently being built out. This is fantastic. Ugo's going to be an amazing part of this team, especially when fully booked. Right now, no skill books at all on the Ugo. The Royal Guard. I would highly recommend taking the Royal Guard up to level 60 to replace the He-Man on this Hydra team. Not only does Royal Guard do very solid damage, because enemy max HP based damage on the A2, great into Hydra. Better into Hydra the higher difficulty you go up, of course, because then the enemies have more max HP and so they take more dam. Whereas in the early stages, you know, it hits okay. But most importantly, Royal Guard is also bringing decreased speed on kind of like a pseudo AoE, right? Attacks 4 times at random on his A3 and gets that decreased speed debuff going. I don't know if you guys can see my cat bunting my hand here as I'm trying to shoot this damn video, but yeah, you're a good girl, but that's working. And then of course the Geomancer's on the team because it's Geomancer. Are you kidding me? Like, what the hell is this? Like, what are you even talking about here, man? Oh yeah, and finally the Loki. Why would I have the Loki on this team? Well, it's for lack of better options, first of all, but the Loki with his attack all enemies AO1 is a fantastic candidate for, you know what's coming, man, a good old cursed set. Now, it's time to call out Passarelli, man, because check this out, dude. We got some work to do, not just with maxing up some of those champions and getting those champions booked up for that sort of beginner Hydra team, but if we just go real quick into our artifact sets, where's the cursed set, man? What is it? What is this with accounts that I take over recently? Just not having a cursed set. Hang on, at all? Wait a minute, no. We do have some cursed gear, right? Am I just blind? Okay, dude. So I took over an account recently that had like literally 3 pieces of cursed gear on the entire account. And on Passarelli's account, he's been auto-selling all of the cursed gear. Bro, it's a good set. You don't want to be getting rid of your cursed gear, man. The cursed gear set is kind of similar to the reflex set, which we also don't have much of, by the way. Reflex is amazing if you're using Geomancer as your one of your like primary damage dealers into Hydra. Get him in the reflex set. You disable his A2 so he's not wasting any time with that crap, and then you just have him spam his A3 as much as possible in a reflex set. Fantastic for spreading that weaken and HP burn debuff onto all of the Hydra heads, and then you're benefiting more from his passive, right? Because Geo's passive only does damage if the enemy is under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion, right? It's very, very specific the way that that's worded in his passive, and so reflex set is amazing on Geomancer. Sadly, we've got like no reflex gear either, but more to the point, Loki in a cursed set, fantastic. The Hex debuff is going to be very, very, very beneficial with this Hydra team because it's lacking so many other tools and it's using a lot of budget options and stuff, right? But as for the Hydra team that I would plan for us to build out, I think a cursed set on Loki would be amazing. So a little bit of a different account takeover this one, man. It's all just very like theoretical, and these are some directions that you could go in, but this is what the mid game is all about. I mean, look at this. Look at how far behind Finite's Castle is. We're at stage 20 for multiple dungeons on this account. We're doing great. Finite's Castle, not so hot. And you know what? I'm gonna say pun intended with that one, man. Now, as for the Fire Knights team, this is the team that we are running. I did go into the account a little bit earlier on today and just prepared a team that I would recommend we run into Fire Knight instead. It would be this team right here, at least once it's actually booked out, right? This would be the team. The Apothecary is running nice and fast now. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. His increased speed, his triple hitter on the A1 is going to be amazing into annihilating the Fire Knight's shield stacks. The only champ on this team, or one of the main champs on this team, I don't really like so much is the Fane, to be honest. The Fane, we can just have the Fane spam the A1 against the Fire Knight boss at the end. It's a double hitter, each hit with a chance, only a small chance, like 50%, of stealing 5% of the target's current turn meter. It's not that much turn meter control. Not a whole lot to work with. And so the Fane is definitely replaceable, but everybody else in this team can stick around for quite a while, right? The Vogoth is going to help us get through the waves of enemies, and it's got a triple hitter against the boss. The only caveat with this team is that once the Royal Guard's on the team, we want the Royal Guard to be the slowest champion on the team. Right now, the Curl is the slowest champion on the team, which is not ideal. We want the Royal Guard to attack in right away against the boss, with his big decreased speed and 10 meter reducer on his A3, and I think that this team would do pretty great. Hopefully, that's if the Vogoth, is he fully booked? He's not. We might need to get the Vogoth fully booked as well to have enough control against the waves to actually get us through the waves with this team. It's asking quite a lot of the Vogoth, but as for the Fane is definitely replaceable by this very, very happy little epic champion right here, who maybe can just be leveled up to level 50. I think Fenshi does require skill books. Yeah, Fenshi definitely does require skill books. So Fenshi is just a much better 10 meter specialist and 10 meter controller specialist as compared to the Fane. This is a champion I would love to build, by the way. Can I just say, like, everybody talks about the cold hearts and the allures, you know, like the real Fire Knight Giga Chads. I love when you go off the beaten path a little bit. Fenshi's got himself a triple hitter A1 with a chance of placing decreased speed, strong version on his A1. Great to bring into Fire Knight. The idea is, of course, to make sure that the Fire Knight never gets a turn, and so decreased speed with the triple hitter is a fantastic A1 for that purpose. And then fully booked up, Fenshi with his A2 has a 2-turn cooldown. So every second turn, right? 2-turn cooldown, triple hitter, each hit 75% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. Very, very nice. Very, very good indeed. Fenshi would be like very, very high on my list on this account to build out for Fire Knight progression. I'd probably even take him all the way up to level 60. I said it. Okay. I said it, man. I went there. I think I would. I think he's good enough to justify that. And as good as his A3 is, right? It's a double hitter, each hit placing poison. That's great and all. I disable this against the finite boss itself because ideally the boss should never be getting a turn anyway, so what the hell does it matter if you're poisoning the boss? Then again, he does ignore some of the target's defense for each poison debuff on the target, so what do I know? Maybe it's worth leaving active and just make sure that we have this A2 prioritized in the team AI. And so first of all, I would prioritize building out those Hydra champions first and foremost. Then I'd go to the finite champions that we covered to make sure that those guys are all maxed out and booked up and stuff. After those, and then it's just a very, very exciting time for the account because again, you can just build whatever the hell you want, man. It looks like we're a little bit behind, okay, like struggling to kill the boss on a lot of the faction wars stages. 22 stars here, 10, 7, 28 on Shadowkin. Like we're just struggling on a lot of faction war stages, man, and it's just about building out a width of champions on the account as you enter the mid game, right? It's fine to have some goals like building out for specific areas like Hydra, Finite, or whatever, wherever it is that you're struggling. That's great. But honestly, just maxing up as many champs as you can and just constantly be working on building out food champions in between champ training and stuff so you can rank a bunch of guys up is going to be amazing. It's also going to be amazing for farming the likes of secret rooms. If we actually got a normal Doom Tower, I think we have cleared normal Doom Tower once on this account. We have. However, one secret room untapped right here, another one here, another one here, here. Okay, so we actually, we cleared about half of the secret rooms by the looks, thereabouts. Ideally, we can just be farming all of those, right, and not missing on any of those and getting those free champions farmed up nice and quickly. Also, Cursed City progression. Cursed City progression is like all about it's just a test of how wide your champion roster is. How many champions in every faction do you have that are able to control waves of enemies? Do you have at least one good nuker built out for every faction, right? That's how you're going to progress in Cursed City. Now, I did check in on this account last night before Cursed City reset, and we'd cleared most of this sort of like first sector of Cursed City, which is great. I mean, it's a lot of free resources that we're picking up. We could do so much more, though, in normal Cursed City by just widening the roster, right? And just having champs that cover every faction and allow us to farm all of these free resources every few weeks whenever Cursed City resets. It's such a big boon to the account over time. And yeah, absolutely worth doing. And for me, that is what the mid-game is all about. But let me tell you something. Let's just take a quick look around in the Great Hall and stuff. Looking pretty good. Progress maybe a little slow. Maybe not like a big arena enthusiast over here. I love that we're saving up the medals as well, Passarelli. Saving up the medals, just waiting for the next CVC. Fantastic. Patience. Good stuff. Makes sense. I did check in on the challenges a little bit earlier on. Arena challenges, great. Like we like nailed all of the champion challenges. Check out the artifact challenges, boys. Oh my god. Win a 3-star weapon from clearing stage 1 of Sewers of Arnok on normal. Oh my giddy aunt. We are really, really far behind on the artifact challenges. Why are these so bad, dude? Why don't Plarium just go in and just rework these a little? It feels like the first like 5 or 6 parts of the artifact challenges are just a joke, and like the rewards aren't good and the objectives suck and are grindy, you know. So I don't blame you too much, man, for being behind on those. I think a lot of people do fall behind on those just because they're so tedious. And alright, man, I will go in and see if I can just tune up some of the champion builds real quick before we end the takeover, but that's the long story short, man. I'd just be building a width of champions on this account, and that's really it. The Hydra ones first, the Finite ones next. Then I'd be going into this reserve vault. I'd be pulling out at least the Gisgard, at least the Kunoichi, at least the Tyrell, and was there one more a little bit further down? Oh yeah, the Nalhorn and the Kerzad. And I'd basically be taking all these champions up to level 50. Maybe the Air Sign as well. Taking all these champions up to level 50, and unless I pull like a better legendary option for them in the next couple months, I'd consider taking most of these champs up to 60 as well, and just helping out with progression across the entire account. And you know what, man? We'll put poor little Romero in this little club as well, man. We gotta bring along the runny-nosed little brother of the promo link, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, speaking of which, once you've signed up with the promo link, if you want to get involved in the Takeover series, make sure to go ahead and join my Discord server, which is also linked down below in the description box below this video, right? Join the Discord server and you can submit your account in the Account Takeover Submissions channel. and there's at least a dice rolls chance that I'll be able to get it featured up here on the channel in a takeover just like this one. So first rebuilds first, it's about getting the Kale's speed up so that he's ready to rock and roll in that finite team. Again, we don't want him to be the slowest champion on the team. We can also boost up his damage by quite a bit. His crit damage is also quite low. Even his accuracy is a little bit low because we have a health banner, which sadly we can't do anything about the health banner, but everything else we can go ahead and fix up. And as an FYI, you know, a good old accuracy banner here with some attack percentage, some speed would be amazing on this kill, but any accuracy banner really would do. This is the build that went ahead and prepared up. Let's get the ring on there as well. And these are the new stats. A lot more attack, like 800 more attack at the cost of about 6,000 health, but we do gain a little bit of defense as well to kind of circumvent that. The speed goes up by quite a bit. I think it's like 18 more speed, 16 more speed, something like that. Quite solid. The crit rate is much closer to that 100%. You can get away with 85% on Kale because he has a bonus crit chance on his A2. But, you know, more is fine for making his A3 crit as well and his A1. And the crit damage is going to be significantly increased as well. The accuracy gets a small bump, but yeah, we really need to find that accuracy banner for the kill. So I'm not going to go ahead and equip this gear just yet. I don't want to break Kale as the campaign farmer. I'm 90% sure that this should be fine, and the Kale should be able to still do the campaign farming job, maybe even just faster than he could before, but I leave this right here for Passarelli to go ahead and decide when he wants to equip this up on the Kale. Of course, the Apothecary you've already rebuilt. We're very much lacking accessories on this account as well, by the way. This is really nothing good to put on the Apothecary, but well, there you do go. And so the Geomancer, I again would prefer to see the Geomancer, given that he's going to be such an integral part of this account for a long time and help us with progress into Hydra and stuff as well. I would love to see the Geomancer built out in a reflex set instead, and like we talked about, disable his A2 into Hydra, so he's just spamming the crap out of the A3 as much as possible. And there was one other champ as well. Oh yeah, the Loki in a cursed set, I feel would actually be great. It's particularly good because you don't necessarily want to be dumping legendary skill tomes into Loki the Deceiver, and so getting him in a cursed set just means that you're getting more out of his kit from him spamming the A1 without necessarily having to invest the skill books in him, right? Because if you put the legendary skill tones in him, yeah, you reduce the cooldown of his A2 and his A3, but they're not massively impactful skills as is. And if he's not skill booked, then he's actually spamming the A1 a lot more because he has longer cooldowns on his other skills, right? And so he's actually attacking all enemies much more often and getting more value out of a cursed artifact set. So I did just want to check up real quick on the spider progress. Stage 18 is not bad, you know. That's pretty damn solid. I mean, the best stage that we can be farming, and it looks like the stage that we probably are farming just based on our best time records set on this one. Stage 16 is a great stage to be farming. It's quite energy efficient, not too bad. Also, things like mystery shards and brews can no longer drop when you're farming stage 16. So stage 16 is a great stage of spider to be farming. It goes 10, 16, and then 20 in Spider for like the early and mid-game stages that are really great milestones to be working towards. And so, yeah, I'd be farming the crap out of Spider on this account, man. We got like 2 or 3 banners per faction or something crazy. Like, we're really lacking accessories to, and especially the accuracy banners are just so important. We do have one up and running on the Geomancer, which is great, but it feels like accuracy banners are just tough to come by. We got a 4-star one here as well on the Fane, no speed on this, sadly, but the Kale is really lacking his accuracy banner. So yeah, I'd be farming the crap out of spider tournaments every time they pop up on this account, and especially, this is a big one, when the event dungeon launches again, and it's launching it again in like a couple days. Like, it launches again on the 8th of January, which is coming up very soon after this video goes up. Farm the crap out of this thing, man, Passarelli. You gotta do it, okay? You gotta do it. The pinpoint set and pinpoint accessories in particular are so valuable. Every single pinpoint accessory basically has flat accuracy on it by default because of the 1 set bonus that you get. 2 pieces, it's 10% speed. 3 pieces, it's another 20 accuracy completely for free. The accessories being farmable pieces of a 9-piece set from the accessory dungeon, the pinpoint set, so good. It's so valuable, man. It honestly boosted the crap out of my account through the mid-game, which is where the first event dungeon launched from my point of view, you know? But okay, man, more of a chill account takeover today, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. What would your advice be to a player kind of entering into the earlier stages of the mid-game? But now, I do want to thank all of you guys for watching. I hope you all did enjoy, and as always, if you'd like to start off a new raid account and get involved in this account takeover series, then make sure to start off a new raid account right now with my beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description box to kickstart your account with 4 free champions, the starter of which is actually a legendary champion in the form of Corrado, Fox Hunter, and then some immense champions coming your way as you level up your account after that. Alright, thanks again everybody, enjoy the rest of your nights, and I'm going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later, man.